How much house can I afford in Charlotte, North Carolina? Hey, it's Roger from Prosted Realty. I just subscribed to the Charlotte Business Journal. I'm excited. Once a week, I'll have an actual newspaper in my hands. Feeling of that is nostalgic. But I have access to the Daily Journal, and there's a lot of information about real estate and development. But I found this article interesting. They got their source from Zillow. I'm not a big Zillow fan. And Rocket Mortgage. And so that's a good brand. And so I found this interesting that they'll tell you how much annual income that you need on this column to afford how much house in this column, in what zip code and in what little city. So these are all Charlotte and suburbs. So if you made $103,000 a year combined household income, it's possible that you could afford about a $398,000 house. And where would that be? Belmont. Oh, I love Belmont. Little town to the west of Charlotte. And that's the zip code 28012. I love Belmont. Very cool little town. We've got a lot of great small towns. But this ought to stimulate your thinking a little bit. Hey, if I make 106, then I can afford maybe a house for 410. And where would that be? Mount Ulla? I don't even know where Mount Ulla is. So scratch Mount Ulla. But if you make 106, you can also buy in Belmont. You get to catch the drift. 106 also gets you up into Troutman for about 411. Now Troutman is, so you got 485 Charlotte, kind of the beltway around Charlotte. If you go up north, Lake Norman, Mountain Island Lake, Lake Wiley, you go up north around, you'll find Troutman. It's, in other words, it's a small town north of Charlotte, a good little commute. But the price, the value's there for housing. Again, if you're a subscriber, I often say that the price of the house is determined by the price of the dirt. Now, this is not all new construction. This is just kind of in general. Lake Park, 28079. I love that one. Again, 45 off to the southeast Indian Trail area. If you make 110, you could afford 424. And that's in Lake Park. And Lake Park's a real cool little area. Real cool little area. Now in Charlotte, 28202, you can afford about a $432,000 house, and you need about 112 income to be able to do that. 112 income. Was I on the right? Yeah, right there. 112. And that's in the 28202. 114 could maybe buy you can spend 442. That's in Charlotte, 28205. Matthews, 28105. Now, Matthews is a really cool little small town. I may put the top back on the convertible, throw Jude in the back seat, and go to Matthews today. I often do. I love Matthews. So for about 117,000 income, you could afford medium price, 453 in Matthews. That's 28105. And don't be confused, because sometimes Matthews and Weddington sort of share the same zip. Sometimes a house in Weddington has a 28104 or 105. And so that's the Matthews side. Weddington's more expensive, 452. So if you make about 119, you could probably afford Fort Mill. Average price about 460. That's 29715. Fort Mill is wildly popular, and there are reasons for it. The schools are like off the chart, right? Some of the best in South Carolina. And don't be confused. You're thinking, well, I thought Charlotte was in North Carolina. Charlotte sits on just above the state line. So Fort Mill is a suburb of Charlotte for sure. Now, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking these numbers are a little low in terms of what you can find. We do a lot of new construction, and that's kind of shot up as have all property prices. But this is from Zillow. Oh, maybe that's why I'm incredulous. I don't know. But the key on any of these is for you to give me a call, and we can set you up on a search. If you say, hey, my budget is, 460, show me everything in the Charlotte area under 460 or with, 4+ bedrooms or whatever, or in the Fort Mill High School District, whatever. We can do the search for the criteria with any criteria that you want. But I'm thinking this price is a little low, but that's the medium price. If you're making 125 or so, you could probably afford the 28278 and buy a house that's about 481. So 125 household income could get you a house for 481. and that's in the Charlotte zip of 28278. So again, 485 goes around on the southwest side. That's Steel Creek area, 28278. And you go further down from there, you get into South Carolina, Buster Boyd Bridge, yada, yada. So they're saying 481 for 28278. If you're making 125, you could probably afford that. If you're making 126, you could probably afford a 488 house in Harrisburg, 28075. Harrisburg doesn't really have a downtown. It's got a street that drives through. It's nice, but Harrisburg's a great area. 485 up on the northeast side, not quite to Concord, not far from 485. Harrisburg's a great area. If you make 132, they're saying you can afford 28031, which is Cornelius. Mecklenburg County as well, 485. You go up north, you've got the big three right there. You've got Davidson, Huntersville, Cornelius, very close to Lake Norman, and 511. So you see where they go? You don't want me to keep going, do you? You do? If you're still with me, maybe you do. 133 buys you 512K, and you can be in Huntersville. 133K buys you a 513K house in the 28210. That's a nice zip code. Back to another Fort Mill zip code is 29707, and 133 household income could buy you 513 in Fort Mill. There's another Fort Mill in 29708 for about 550 if you make about 143. So those are just some interesting numbers. You don't want me to keep going, do you? Do you really? Why? 145 income can buy you 559 in Indian Trail, 28104. Now remember I said 28105 Matthews could be Weddington. I'm surprised that 28104 stretches up to Indian Trail, but that's probably the high price end of Indian Trail. I mean, 145 gets you 559 in the 28277. That's the zip code we just moved from. Now, when I say these numbers are low, our house had inflated in value and ended up being quite a bit more. Now, before the big rise and increases, we thought our house was worth about $550 to $600, and we ended up getting a lot more for it because all these price jumps and increases. So it's crazy out there. But 28277, some of the best schools in Charlotte, like Ardrey Kell High School, that's Ballantyne and Blakeney and over towards Waverly. And that's a great area code, by the way, 28277, highly searched around the country. And if you make 145, you can maybe buy something for 559. That's interesting to me. Love that. So I'm not going to keep going. If you want more information, call me. What we typically do, I just had a call from Florida. Hey, we're going to be in town, such and such. Well, let me get you with one of my team. Make sure I have a person that's available those days, and we'll spend time with you, show you the market. And in the meantime, if there's a video that you want me to go shoot, new construction, I can go shoot the house, the neighborhood, the street, whatever, for you to help you in your buying process. That's what I do on the team, and publish videos every day. I missed one the other day, though. I've beat myself up so bad when I missed a day. But I've got, 3,300 videos, and I love doing it. And I answer the phone, and my team's out doing deals. So you definitely want to give me a call, 704-345-3400. This lady, interestingly enough, she already had an agent. I said, well, I'm just curious why you're calling me if you have an agent. And she said, well, and it's okay if they reach out to me. I just, I don't reach out to people that have agents, but everybody watches the videos, right? So I just got the impression that she felt like either maybe that agent wasn't quite knowledgeable enough about what she wanted. She saw my videos and she must have liked my vibe. Did she join my tribe? I don't know. Did she subscribe? I don't know. If you haven't, hopefully you will like, subscribe, share the stuff the kids do. But better yet, couple it with a phone call. See if I answer. If I don't, I'll buy you lunch. But I'll probably buy you lunch anyway when we get together. And I'll bring Jude if you like. I'd love to. 704-345-3400. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.